Good afternoon, one and all. I am happy to be here with you today. I'm Carol Hunt, Minister of Unity in Harlem, and I welcome all of you to our service this afternoon. I hope you saw what I saw earlier, the branch with its leaves on that vine, and because it is bringing into some reality the theme that we have been sharing with over the course of the month of April. Very lovely, and thank you, Bob. Today we gather to continue this theme and to see ourselves as we reflect what we say that vine represents, the Christ dimension in us, and we as that branch. And if you've noticed, it's the branch with a question mark. We choose the branch off of the vine ourselves. It's nothing automatic. Automatic in the birth of us, perhaps, but not as we live from day to day. Our service today includes Carol King, who will bring us the daily word reading. Marie will again sing beautifully for us, the first of which is More Than Enough. Next will come the meditation and our talk for today, and you can guess who that is. And our announcements will be shared with us by Nancy Causey. We again will have a selection from Marie, Get Out of the Way. Interesting. And we will close with our prayer of protection and peace song. This is one of those Sundays that I will say to myself, which really started a long time ago with my friend Marilyn Jackson. What are you going to say Sunday? And so now I say to myself, what am I going to say Sunday when the past week or two have been incredible experiences in the life of ourselves and the land that we live in? What am I going to say Sunday? And I've said this to myself a lot, but I have not been able to come up with anything that would give a different view or be reassuring in such a way that's different than other times when I think of something of what will I say? However, today I think about the fact that it just so happens that we will be coming back together later this afternoon. And I would hope that the experience this afternoon will bring a sense of healing. And maybe that's what am I going to say? That we will experience a sense of healing today. Healing in music, particularly with an emphasis on our music, and healing in the words that are so appropriate for this time and for this day with us as Unity in Harlem. Maybe that's the message. What am I going to say? Not just my question, but yours as well. And it's healing. That's what we can say. And with that, we will relax, be open and receptive as we hear the daily word from Carol King.
The daily word for Sunday, April 18th, 2021. Pray for others. With mind and heart, I know the truth for each person I hold in prayer. A friend, someone said, knows the truth for you until you can know it for yourself. Praying for friends, family members, and those I haven't met, I center my awareness in the truth that each one for whom I pray is a living expression of God, just as I am. Letting go of fear, I release thoughts of lack, illness, disharmony, or any limitation. Each one warmed and comforted by divine love that lifts their hearts and brings harmony to their relationships. I affirm their abundant living guided by divine love, wisdom, and understanding. I see each life unfolding in perfect divine order, enjoying security, health, and joy. I will pray with the spirit, but I will pray with the mind also. I will sing praise with the spirit, but I will sing praise with the mind also. 1 Corinthians 14:15. Thank you.
Isaiah 55 verse 11 says, "So shall my word be that goes out from my mouth. It shall not return to me empty, but it shall accomplish that which I purpose, and shall succeed in the thing for which I sent it." Unity affirmations speak to the power of our words, and particularly the power of I am. And so we say this affirmation every Sunday to affirm our divine nature. The words are on the screen, and I invite you to say them with me. I am an abundant, radiating center of God's love and light for peace, healing, and inner truth for all.
Have you ever noticed that the unexpected makes you feel like there's never going to be enough for you? But actually, there's more than enough. This is More Than Enough by Daniel Namod, a new arrangement by yours truly. There is more than enough in the universe that you created. There is more than enough on a planet of sacred design. There is more than enough for humanity made in your image. Why would I worry? Why would I doubt? Why would I ever think I'd go without? Why would I worry? Why would I doubt? Why would I ever think I'd go without? Your infinite love made me, made everything I see. And all that will ever be is your infinite love, your infinite love. Let the world know the truth, whatever you choose to do. Your infinite love is more than enough, more than enough. The universe that you created, more than enough on a planet of sacred design. There is more than enough humanity made in your image. Why would I worry? Why would I doubt? Why would I ever think I'd go without? Why would I worry? Why would I doubt? Why would I ever think I'd go without your infinite love? Made me, made everything I see, and all that will ever be is your infinite love, your infinite love. Ooh, ooh, infinite, infinite love, infinite, infinite love. You made everything I see. Whatever you choose to be. Infinite, infinite, infinite love. Infinite love. Infinite. Thank you, Carol.
And thank you. Thank you for a wonderful rendition of More Than Enough. As we sit now, comfortable in our seat, surrounded by all that we have, within and without, how grateful it is to know there is more than enough. More than enough as we focus on allowing infinite spirit to flow through us. We let go any of the ideas that may stop the flow. Any ideas or thoughts that are filled with congestion. We rob ourselves of that idea of more than enough. We think of our breath, our breathing, and we take a breath and release the breath. And as we release the breath, we carry with us that right now, in this place, as we release and let go, there's more than enough. And we sink deeper into our seat and we truly relax. We breathe in again and let go, release, relax. We breathe in again and follow the breath as it flows through our body system, relaxing those places that might feel congestion, might feel pain, might be stressful. Again, keeping in mind those things, any uncomfortableness. Send the breath as you breathe in deeply and exhale slowly. Send the breath. And relax. Peace, be still. Peace, be still. Peace, be still. Breathe in deeply. Fill your lungs. Hold the breath. Now exhale the breath slowly. Breathe in again, deeply and slowly. Fill your lungs. Hold the breath. Exhale slowly. You feel quiet. You feel still. the easy rhythm of breathing in and breathing out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Feel your shoulders surrender as you exhale. Let the cheeks on your face surrender. Turn your attention to the quiet in the now moment. Be mindful of the stillness. Be mindful of the idea, I am one with God. I am one with the presence of Spirit now. In that presence, I am at home. No place to go, nothing to do. I breathe and I am at home. I let that idea of being at home fill me, fill my heart, fill my being. I release any doubt. I release any fear. I am totally safe, totally secure. I am that safety. I am that security. I am one. In oneness, I affirm my wholeness. I affirm divine health. In oneness, I see clearly and distinctly. I see beyond the appearance of things. I see how things truly are. Perfect, divine, whole. In oneness, I hear the sounds that are covered by appearances. I hear sounds that are the melody of life, always present, that get drowned out. I hear distinctly. I hear the melodies that let me know God loves me. I am God's melody of life. It sings its song through me. In oneness, there is only love. Love that forgives, love that remembers nothing of the past. Love that is compassion and harmony. Love one to another. Bind us all together. I am that love. Oneness, seeing beyond appearances. Oneness, hearing only the melodies of life in spirit. Oneness, love, flowing forth, binding us together. We hold to these truths, feel them expressed through our heart. We take a deep breath and release the breath. We take another deep breath. Release and let go. Returning to this place, feeling energized, feeling relaxed, feeling restored. feeling fully enough. In gratefulness and thanksgiving, we say yes, yes, in the name of our elder brother, Jesus the Christ. Today we continue reflecting on the vine, our Christ center, and using the vine in a symbolic way that nourishes us. This nourishing comes through us as the I am consciousness. And that consciousness, when we are in tune to it, feeds our thoughts. And of course, those thoughts end up being our branches, the branches that create the environment that we live in, from our homes to the streets, to the stores we go to, whatever that is in our world, those branches emanate from us. And it reflects the consciousness, the spiritual consciousness that we see. And our goal is to internalize more and more and more the meaning and demonstration of that vine that is so alive in us. Originally, my intention today was to speak on abundance as a branch and what that can mean in our lives. I decided to go back to the color that so reminds me of spring. And with the color matching the month of April and Easter, I decided to talk about yellow. Certainly yellow, a bright, bright color that speaks to spring. At least it does to me. The first colors I see, aside from the buds that begin to bloom on hedges and what have you, are daffodils, yellow, and the forsythia that I see as I'm riding along the Grand Central Parkway. So these two colors always come up, and I'm aware of them in the springtime. It just so happens that in April of 2021, and in April of every year actually, the color in unity stands for ability ability and faculty and power. We use the word power, divine powers, the 12 powers. We also use the word faculty to divine them, and ability. Along with the color yellow is this word judgment for the month of April. It happens to be the color that I see, as I've said. Charles Fillmore, in his writings, had something to say about the month of April. And I should just say, even though that yellow is designated as the color for the month, it is not written anywhere that I could find that these colors were not added for the month after Fillmore decided on what each month represented for the 12 months of the year. So you may look it up and you'll say, well, I don't know, Carol, it could be pink or red. But yellow works for me right now, so I'm going to stick with yellow. The word judgment, however, that word for April, that does not change. For each month, May, June, July, and going forward, will have its own word for the month. This month, coupled with yellow for me, says it all, as we will hear as we talk about what the judgment really means, what it stands for, according to Fillmore, of course. Fillmore, in order to set the definition of judgment from his point of view, goes all the way back to the Old Testament and in those opening chapters in Genesis. And those 7 steps that we see written about in the creation process. And of course, we do not think of them literally, we think of them symbolically. And so with Fillmore's help, he gives a depth to these steps that we call the 7 steps of creation. And so in Genesis, when he writes about when it is written about the creation of the moon and the sun, herein is where he gives it his own interpretation. And so he says that the moon is a lesser light, and the sun he calls the greater light. These 2 lights represent daytime and nighttime. Now that works, right? The sun is out, is bright, is clear. Daytime, the greater light. And at nighttime, it's not so much, you can't really see all that clear. And he calls that the lesser light. This light, these 2 lights, he links with judgment. And this helps, doesn't it? Because, okay, if the sun is the greater light, I can make good judgments if I'm seeing, hearing, and feeling, particularly seeing in the day. And at night, in the dark, perhaps I don't see as well. He has another word for the lesser light that helps. He says that word is discerning. We go through a process of evaluating for and against, good or not good. We go through this process, and that's a discerning period or discerning aspect of the lesser light. Moontime. He says this lesser light represents our subconscious. For the subconscious mind drives the decisions we make 90% of the time. What we see manifested in our world daily all the time is our conscious mind at work. What we have come to with the greater light, the sun in the day. The lesser and the greater work is so closely entwined together, we're not aware of the discerning work that has gone on by us to recognize it when it is visible in our lives. We just say, it's our judgment. This is what I came to. This is my decision. We've made a judgment and that's it. The lesser light, subconscious, is the discerning factor in play before we make the judgment. And the judgment is in the greater light, the sun, the daytime. This is a real hands-on, practical way of looking at life. In the day, represented in consciousness by the light and the sun physically. That's easy, as well as thinking about the lesser light, which gets so wound up and into the expression of the greater light, we may not think about the discerning time that we spend in the subconscious sorting through until we come to a decision. When Jesus comes along, he does not dwell on the lesser light. He does not make a judgment in a two-step process the way Fillmore did. It's just all judgment that he talks about. And we're familiar with some of the things that he has said. Do not judge. This is in Matthew 7. Do not judge so that you may not be judged. For with the judgment you make, you will be judged. And the measure you give will be the measure you get. Certainly those words, important, but they also clearly are a warning to us. When you judge, be ready. It is serious from what Jesus is saying. There is another reference in Luke 6. Do not judge, and you will not be judged. Do not condemn, and you will not be condemned. Forgive, and you will be forgiven. And it will be given to you what you will get. You will get good measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over. It will be put in your lap. Or the measure you give will be the measure you get back. So here he gives a little more insight. He gives a little detail to this business of judging. And you can tease them out. And then he said, but the result, if you do not do these things and you do other things, you will get good measure. And it's interesting that he uses the word measure, because then you can actually, tease it out, and you can see what the judgment of this brought this, and the judgment of something else brought something else to you in your life. Jesus is saying, when we are wrong, it is a judgment. Not about what you are seeing, it's about you and making the judgment. In the ultimate sense, we are judging ourselves and the life we produce for ourselves. Now, I think most of us kind of know this generally, but I think there is a subtle, more deeper reference here when he says it in terms of measuring out. When we judge negatively, it comes back like coming home to roost. And it's immediate because it is the moment that you judge. The judgment doesn't fall on the other person or the situation, it falls on you. So it's instantaneous. As soon as you judge, you're judging yourself. It may not feel like that. It may feel like you're judging the outer circumstances, what you see or what somebody said. You make a judgment about it. But that's not really what he's saying. As soon as you make the judgment, you're judging yourself. It's like when we'll make a judgment to say something and we get pushback. If we are alert, we know the pushback has happened. If we're not alert, we don't realize it. We figured, oh, they just didn't get it. So that's a judgment on top of a judgment. Or they don't understand. When really it's about ourselves. You're making the judgment about yourself. It falls on you in the very moment. So our example today in this talk is to think about yourself, to take an insightful look at how you make judgments. There is an upside to judgment. It's not all bad. When you judge, do it as though you're doing it for your own life. The simple thought of when I judge others in a situation, or this is a judgment, I would just say, is this one I would want for myself? No matter the subject, in reality, it is yourself. You are making the judgment by yourself, for yourself. You can truly say, I am the judge. I am the judge. I am the judge. The challenge we have is not about whether or not we can make judgments about people we know have done something negative or that we can never find a fault. That's not what it's about. Just use judgment you are about to make for yourself first. And what I did and what you can do is turn Jesus's statement about what judgment in both of those scripture references, particularly Luke, and turned them into questions that you can go over in your mind. Would I judge myself? Would I condemn myself? Would I not give to myself? Would I not forgive myself? Would I not trust myself? Let me read it again. Do not judge, and you will not be judged. Do not condemn, and you will not be condemned. Forgive, and you will be forgiven. Give, and it will be given to you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over into your lap. Just think about your lap, and if you were to put your hands all the way out, it'd be so much that you couldn't contain it in your lap. Why don't we make judgments or decisions free? It is because we do not trust ourselves. We are afraid we will make the wrong decision. We do not trust our ability, and then we don't want to take responsibility for our decisions. It's like being caught in a catch-22, but it doesn't have to be that way. If we were to ask some of those questions when we make a judgment or make a decision, because we're making these decisions and judgments constantly all day. Judging is a part of everyday living. It would be unwise to say, oh, I can live without making any judgments. But if we can think of judgments two parts, yeah, there's negative, but there's positive. And what do I do when I look at the judgment that I have just made, the decision I have just made? So we go round and round with this. We go back and forth and should or I shouldn't be, up and down and around. And so it's a circle that constantly going around that we put ourselves into before we come to a decision that we truly feel good. But we have to have it based on something. And so we're cautioned to get into the consciousness of realizing our judgment is from God and it has a spiritual purpose. It's almost like giving it a test. Our judgment, decisions, you see, then can be non-personal. They don't get laden with the personal aspect of whether I like it or I don't, or like the person or the situation. When we get into thinking, does this situation have a spiritual aspect and purpose to it? Decisions are from your I am consciousness, and then they are made visible. Let your decisions be wise, and the right decisions will flow through you. Judgments, decisions, constantly we are thinking of them and expressing them, a natural part of our existence. For the truth student, we can take it a step further. When am I discerning with the lesser light? When am I making the decision with the greater light? In the daytime, with the sun. Think on these things. We have all we need, enough, a reference to earlier, to do this in a way that life and our growth is more in tune with the divine of who we are. Bless you. Bless you. Thank you for the abundance of daffodils. Oh, let us come together now in celebration through our prayer requests. And so you close your eyes, and in your mind's eye, feel now you have made a judgment, a decision to be in this space, in this time. The spiritual purpose that you are growing in the divine mind, this mind that is within you and seeks always to express as you. We give thanks for the growth that we experience when we turn our attention and make that decision to be in the Christ mind, to decide to be in the presence of the light, the greater light. And to always remember the use of the lesser light to discern, to figure it out. And so now hold in your mind's eye that which you want for yourself and others. This is a decision. This is a judgment. That what we hold within ourselves and what others hold within themselves is enough to know their decisions and judgments are from the Christ of themselves, from the Christ of yourself. And we are blessed with more. Pressed down and running over. We say yes to this awareness and knowing.
Let's stand up after the song.
Sorry, what?
Let's stand up after the song. Was there a stand up?
And we think now of our closing prayer for request. You can see it on your screen. I will say it and then repeat it. And you can repeat it along with me. Divine love flowing through me blesses and increases all that I give and all that I receive. And may your gift to unity, the work we do, see it flow out from the blessings you receive through your giving and your decision to give. Now shall we know it together? Divine love flowing through me blesses and increases all that I give and all that I receive.
Hello. Announcements. Join us today, April 18th, 2021 at 4 p.m. for a special presentation, Prayer, Gospel, and Praise, with guest speaker Reverend Cecilia Loving, Minister of Spirit Move, guest soloist Tommy Thompson and Marie Poncé, and 3 volunteers from Unity in Harlem who will offer prayers for children, family, and the world. There will be no fellowship after this service. This is the first of Unity in Harlem's 2 fundraisers for the year 2021. The donation is $20. You will receive the link for the presentation once you have made your donation. Looking forward to seeing you at 4 p.m. Spiritual fitness meditations are available every day for the month of April. Phone number 712-770-4169. Passcode 360392. Join Tuesday Study Group from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Book Spiritual Economics by Eric Butterworth. Phone number 929-205-6099. ID number 698-428-2725. Passcode 777-7777. Friday, Unity in Harlem's Prayer Circle meets from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. The numbers are the same as the Tuesday Study Group. Next, Unity in Harlem's Gospelgram is on Unity in Harlem Facebook page. And finally, please join us on Sunday, April 25th, 2021. The topic, I Am Fine. Branch as Life. This is the end of the announcement. Peace and blessings.
Get Out of the Way by Eddie Watkins. For all of us folks that find it difficult to stay in our own lane. New arrangement by yours truly. I'm talking to myself. Like those kind of songs. Running around fixing this and that, giving it up to God and then taking it back. Just release, let it go. You don't even have to think about it no more. Get out of the way, let God do his thing. Get out of the way. 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 Get out the way and let God do his thing. Looks like the weight of the world's on your back. Just take a deep breath and cut yourself some slack. All that drama ain't good for you. You couldn't change it if you wanted to. Get out of the way and let God do his thing. Get out of the way. 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 Get out of the way and let God do his thing. Sun's gonna shine, the river's gonna flow. The tide's gonna rise without your say-so. Universe is working and the good is flowing. You don't plant a seed, dig it up and see how it's growing. Get out of the way and let God do his thing. Give up control. Stay in your lane. Get out of the way. I'm talking to me. Get out of the way and let God do his thing. Running around fixing this and that. Give it up to God and then taking it back. Just release and let it go. You don't even have to think about it no more. Get out of the way and let God do his thing. Get out of the way. Let your rose grow. Let those tomatoes come up. Don't be looking at the roots. Get out the way and let God do his thing. Sun's gonna shine, river's gonna flow, tide's gonna rise without your say-so. Universe is working and the good is flowing. You don't plant the seed, dig it up and see how it's growing. Get out of the way and let God do his thing. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. Let some allowing happen. Get out the way and let God do his thing. Release and let go.
How wonderful, Marie. All of our music, how wonderful. All of the music fit perfectly.
Thank you so much. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really
What a
great.
great message.
Ah,
Really hits home. I struggle with that judgment thing. My goodness, I do.
we all do, I think, and we forget. So, after a wonderful service, we will have our prayer of protection
Mm,
and move into the peace song
sounds good.
and then see one another later. So, why don't we do our prayer of protection now?
The light of God surrounds us.
The
The
love,
love of God enfolds us. The
the
power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is,
is
and all is well.
beautiful. And the peace song.
Uh, Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment with peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me.
Blessings. Thank
Blessings to you,
you.
Carol.
Blessings to everyone. And please join us this afternoon at 4 p.m. It will be a wonderful healing as well as a celebratory experience. And I know you will love Reverend Cecilia Loving, whose talk just happens to be titled The Power of Prayer.
That's great. I'm looking forward to that
It,
healing.
that truly fits with us for today.
Absolutely. It's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah.
All right. So we will see you, if not actually in the daffodils, surrounded by daffodils.
Oh, and thanks so much, Stacy and Shawanda, for your messages. It's so encouraging.
Very
Thank you
nice.
so much.